Oh, there's a spy! Spy coming to you!
I'm blocking him! I'm blocking him!
Oh my god! Playing engineer can be stressful at times.
Spy behind you disguises me.
Fuck you, that's so funny. Most of the time it feels like a single player experience going against hordes of enemies while you need to defend yourself alone. It's sometimes difficult to even focus on one spy when the rest of his team focus on your buildings. But I'll always be thankful when that one person decides to lift some of my stress away, because my best friend. I'm talking about, of course, Pybros. I love them because they make my life easier. Because as enjoyable as playing a single player NG is, sometimes it can be a real challenge to boot or even keep your stuff up because the enemy team has decided to team up to take my buildings down. And that's where Pybro comes to play. You see, this isn't exactly the most fun to play Pyro because we all love the comboing or committing war crimes against the enemy team. Yeah, look! I got him!
You got him!
But as an NG main, I've started to learn a bit more about how to interact more with the other engineers whenever I am playing as a Pyro. And it can feel good if you help them stay alive longer or remove a few sappers here and there. So here, I want to touch the surface of Pybro. If you are interested in knowing more, there are other videos out there. First off, for weapons, for primary, use the decreaser. You want them switch and deploy bonuses to quickly switch different weapons. For secondary, use either the detonator or score shot. Detonator is my personal favorite because I can blow the projectile mid-air, setting multiple enemies on fire, and I can quickly close the distance to remove the sapper from a building or to flame some enemies. Score shot is more effective because it destroys stickies and its knockback is fucking stupid, but I tend to avoid it because I feel like an asshole for using it. And for the melee, use the Homewrecker. You mainly want to avoid ending in a situation where Spy has played sappers, but if it happens, quickly dispatch the fiend and remove them. You can also use the Wrecker to destroy buildings, but it will mostly happen if you play more aggressively. I want to talk about this weapon in particular. Homewrecker as a pyro melee is pretty weird. Sure, I guess it makes sense that a sledgehammer will deal more damage to buildings, but it hurts less than the fire axe. I'm pretty sure if I got hit by one, it will hurt a lot. Also, who in the right mind will go against a sentry with a melee weapon? Sure, I get that for Demo Knights, they have the mobility for it, but you're Pyro, one of the least mobile classes. It sometimes comes in handy when you want to one-shot a level 1 building, but I find it far more reliable to just use the flamethrower. Because if it's a turtle engineer, your flames penetrate the building and hurt him as well. But what really saves this weapon from being bad is the remove sapper part. This is a huge middle finger to Spy. And if you have watched any of my stuff, then you know how much I like those French men. So I don't feel bad when I get to remove a sapper with this weapon. I also find it so satisfying to remove it in one hit, because I'm so used to either swinging it 2 to 3 times as an engineer. How you should play Pybro is to switch between defense and attack. If you see enemies approaching, attack them with the flare so they back up from the objective, or if you have some good distance, reflect their projectiles back to hurt them even more. That way your engineer can breathe a little bit easier. But once the enemy is closing in, switch to a defensive playstyle and play near your engineer, flaming around to make sure any sneaky spies don't try anything, push and destroy incoming projectiles, and if they have Uber, try to push them away or distract them long enough for it to end so your engineer can keep his stuff up. And if a spy manages to get through your radar, quickly frag the sapper and then the Frenchman. That way your defense can hold and your engineer will be happy for you. And if you decide to help me when I am engineer, I will personally give you a good handshake and call you my friend. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.